Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miracle Cowser. I reside in the Washington, D.C. area. I have a book out, and it's called Left for Dead God's Unexpected Miracle. Basically, an autobiography of my life story from when I was a young child up until now, what I'm still going through. Basically, um, the real problem that's really hurting me day by day is basically approximately 10 years ago, on June 17th, I was basically pregnant with twins. And the whole 9 months of me complaining, going to hospital and clinics, hurting, felt like I was about to die. I was asking and calling out for help, and I was turned away, pushed back, called crazy, saying that I wanted to be pregnant, but I wasn't. But on June 17th, 2008, I was called in on my day off to cook for the Pope at the Ballpark Stadium, National Stadium on South Capitol Street, Southeast Washington, D.C. Southwest. So basically, I was sick. It was my day off of work, but they kept calling me, so I took it upon myself to get up, get myself together, and go help them at work. I cooked for the Pope that day. I'll say like an hour and a half later, he came. He introduced himself to me. Told me that did anybody ever tell me I need to open up a restaurant because the taste, how I cook my food is so wonderful, and he never tasted erotic food like that before. And he told me I need my restaurant. So I told him if I had the money, then I would open up a restaurant because that's something that's my dream that I would love to do. Cook all type of international foods, man. So, was said and done. After he shook my hand and gave me a hug, I collapsed. And I was out for maybe like 5 minutes. And then I got up and people were asking me, was I okay? And I said, yeah, I felt a little sick. So I rushed to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom. I used the bathroom, washed my hands, put water on my face, try to get myself back together to go back to work. So I came out. I had to open up my beer stand. Yes, I was a certified bartender. I passed the beer license test that they gave me at the stadium, and I had my own beer stand. So I served at least like 15 to 20 customers. Then after that, my bladder was like tremendously full again. Like I was just about to have an accident on myself, and the distance from my beer stand to the bathroom is a long distance, but I made it by the grace of God. I used the bathroom. After I finished washing my hands, coming out of the restroom, I meet two of my managers, approached me, asking me to come with them. They walked me to my register, gave me a trash bag, told me empty out my register. Then I went with them to their office. Do you know these people accused me of stealing because I kept going to the bathroom? And so I emptied out my pockets, no money, no nothing on me. And so I was still disappointed. So I even lift my bra up and let my breasts hang out. I said, do you see any money in the creases or the cracks? No, you don't. I said, you guys asked me to come in here and help you on your day off. And now you guys are firing me on my day off. And I said, you don't have no reason to fire me. You guys accuse me of stealing. So I looked around for a lawyer. Nobody seems to want to take my case. For some reason, nobody seems to want to take any of my cases or help me with none of my cases. But I'm still God's child. I'm a fighter. I'm going to keep on fighting. So I went home. On the way, going to my house, walking, I collapsed. A young man helped me up off the floor. And I got up and I made it to my building. I got on the elevator. About the time I got off on the fourth floor, I collapsed again. I don't know how long I was in the hallway. All I know is I woke up, I was surrounded by ambulance workers and my neighbor standing over top of me, saying, "Girl, I thought you was dead. I called the peoples for you. Oh my goodness, are you alright?" And I kept saying, "I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel like I'm about to die and I can't get no help." So the ambulance rushed me to a hospital called MedStar Washington Hospital Center. This hospital is 111 Irvin Street Northeast, Washington, D.C. In that hospital, they gave me a special sonogram on the ground floor in the dark room. The nurse that was doing my sonogram had the monitor to where I could see it at first. So I did see on the monitor what was making me sick. That's why I was so happy, crying tears of joy, because I seen two babies inside my stomach ready to come out. And it was just so beautiful seeing this. And the reason why I say so beautiful is I was told by doctors when I was basically 12 years old that I was damaged for life. I couldn't have any kids from being gang raped by 12 grown men in the government's care. So I thought I could have kids, but God blessed me with a set of twins, so I was happy. So as she moved the monitor away from me and started getting on the phone, calling people. Then all these doctors rushed in the room and was like, "Oh my goodness, come on, we have to take you to labor and delivery. You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it." So I'm like, "What do you mean you're not gonna make it?" So of course that's scaring me because I'm like, okay, I thought I wasn't gonna make it because it felt like I wasn't gonna make it. So I pulled my phone out to call my family, and my phone was snatched from me, confiscated. Refused to let me call family. And then on the way, wheeling me out of the sonogram room, wheeling me through the hallway. It's a long hallway to the left and to the right of me. In front of me is elevators on the side. So on the left of me, I see photographers, bright lights, snapping pictures, flick, flick, flick. So I'm looking like, I see a celebrity. So I was happy. Like, oh my God, I see the celebrity with my own eyes. Ooh. And it was one of my favorite celebrities in the past. So she looked me in my eyes. I looked her in her eyes. It was a surprise to see her. But I was wheeled into labor and delivery. First of all, any mother or parent knows who had a C-section knows that they do not get put to sleep. They give you an epidural on your back and numb you and then cut your stomach open. I'm not supposed to be put to sleep. So they over medicated me to put me to sleep against my will because they did not want me to see what I needed to see. But being as though I'm God's child and he woke me up in the nick of time to see the doctor walking out the room with the first baby they pulled out of me, and I tried to sit up, and they pushed me back down gentle and was like, "Miss Kauser, we're not finished with you yet." Then they pulled another baby out, which is the boy that I have now, which he's missing his twin brother. They're identical twins, and being as though all the 9 months I kept going for help, and they kept saying I wasn't pregnant, they told me it was not showing in my blood or urine that I was pregnant. I believe this was set up for me. No! This was set up for me. This was planned for me because it doesn't show my blood or urine majority of the time. And the pain that I was going through, it felt like I really was going to die. So actually, being into the hospitals never helped me. I had to help myself. I don't care what you guys think. I'm being honest. I had to help myself by actually smoking my drug of choice, which was PCP. For those that don't know what PCP is, it's basically a bomber fluid, but it's made with different chemicals. It's not just strictly a bombing fluid. It's mixed with different chemicals, and it's a form of liquid that you take a cigarette and you dip it, and then you pull it back, and then you light the cigarette and you smoke it. The high that it gave me was not a deadly high or not a high to what make me kill my kids or jump off a building or run down the street butt naked, stuff like other people do. when they smoke it. I guess their tolerance level is not like mine. I have a very high tolerance level, so I guess that's why it never took over me. And it basically always made me think about the music I have wrote in the past and how the good moments of my life. Just good moments and show me visions of what happened to me. But other than that, it keeps me calm. And it takes pain away also. So that's why I used it to cope with the pain so I could continue to go to work. I was working two jobs. Ballpark Stadium in Southwest Washington, D.C., and Papa John Pieces on Pennsylvania Avenue, Southeast D.C. My legs were bust open, my hands, my whole body was swollen. I looked like a blowfish. And once again, they wouldn't tell me that I was pregnant. So basically, yeah, I can admit a smoking PCP. But had I known I was pregnant with twins or a child, period, I would never had smoked. I would never had smoked. But my baby was stolen at birth out of the hospital. I believe it was adopted by a celebrity. The reason why I say that is one in particular celebrity I seen with my own eyes inside of the hospital. I also have documentations saying that she visited MedStar Washington Hospital Center. I also have medical documents in my son's file that says newborns were healthy. Infants' circumcision went well, meaning more than one circumcision was done. So, you Google the fetal echo heart rate, it also tells you, well, the articles that I have read, putting his fetal echo heart rate in Google, pops up other mothers talking about their twin boys. Then I see other articles talking about how they could tell the difference what they're having when they have twins because of the heart rate is different. So you learn something new every day. So another thing was that on the medical documentations that I have, someone signed for my cord blood, my umbilical cord with the cord blood still in it. Who would sign for my stuff? It's not my signature and it's not my name. That's an automatic lawsuit. But it seems to me no one wants to help me. I have to help myself because I want my child back. I'm going to fight for my child. I'm not a racist or anything. But before I let a celebrity take my child, which I know that you guys does sacrifice. And what I mean by sacrifice is you guys have the tendency of adopting black kids. Why? My belief is because you guys need our melanin. So you guys want our organs. You guys want our melanin. Only blacks carry melanin in their body. And the melanin is what you guys need to put in your sunscreen lotion and to make sunscreen. And also, some Caucasians inject themselves with melanin. You guys think it's going to make you live long for a long period of time, and you guys use our melanin because it helps your skin. See, the difference between black and white is black don't crack. We could be 45, maybe 50, but in the face we don't look it. We look young, very young, because black don't crack. So the Caucasians need this melanin to put in their body so they won't age so fast. And so their skin won't get sunburned and messed up. You can look at a Caucasian person and look at them, and they can be the same age as me, but they look way older than me. And you guys want our melanin out of our body, and you guys want our organs, but you act like we're just straight shit to you guys. You guys act like it's still slavery going on. You guys are trying to make slavery come back. I mean, it's just basically sad. It's a sad case, and I don't want nothing to happen to my son that was stolen. So in reality, I seen pictures on the internet, and I looked at the pictures that I seen on the internet, and I look at my son every day that's here. They're identical. They are identical. And then this in particular celebrity, when she first came out a year later in '09, saying that she adopted a child. She first said she adopted the baby from Africa. Then she turned around in 2015 and said she adopted the baby from New Orleans. How can you adopt a baby from two different places? It don't make sense to me. Then when I found out about this hospital, because I talked to an employee that works there. This hospital is a nice big hospital, but they also have a secret side that we cannot go on. That's for celebrities. Celebrity owned. They have bigger rooms, better doctors, and better food. But we're not allowed to go over there because we're not rich like them. So in the long run, me and my son has been going to therapy for years, for a rock of years now. My story remains the same. I still have visions, I still have flashbacks. Being as though no one will listen, I've been so housebound through all the trauma and drama I've been through all my life. I'm not really a street person. I know the street ways, but I'm not a street person who hang out in the streets and try to act ghetto or whatever. But if you do mess with me, the lion will come out of me. That's my wild side. I have no thing to lie about. I will defend myself at all times. But I just don't run the streets. I'm a house girl, mainly. And it's just sad that I wake up every day knowing that it's supposed to be two boys instead of one. And for my missing child, and for whoever have him, I know who has him. But if you come across this video, give him back to me. It's the right thing to do. A lie could cost you everything, but the truth can't. Please give me my child back. He has a twin brother that he's separated from. He has a baby brother that's 5 years old that's autistic. He has a sister who just turned 26. And he also have two beautiful nieces that is 10 and 6 months. Please give him back to me. I know that that's my child. And all I'm asking for you to do is to do the right thing. I want this to surface the world because I have a book out called Left for Dead, God's Unexpected Miracle. And it's telling people all over the world that I want you guys to purchase this book. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes, Kindle, and Noble. But it's mainly telling a story about my life. That's one part I wanted to tell you about my missing child and the cover up. How they're covering it up. And basically I was never given my sonogram picture. I went to the hospital. I paid for my records. It's automatically supposed to be a sonogram picture in your records, and it's automatically supposed to be a sonogram picture in the film library. Why is my stuff nowhere to be found? You tell me. Because they're trying to cover up what they stole from me, my child. And then half of my medical records wasn't in the file. They're missing, completely destroyed. But thank God I did have records that say newborns and infants. But I want my sonogram picture, and they're refusing to give me that. They actually told my therapist on a conference call that I never had a baby there in 2008. I only had a baby there in 2013, and that's my baby boy. He's 5. So, tell me, how can you lie to a therapist on the phone like that? Just straight up and lie and say, I never had a baby there when we have documentation sitting in front of our face My son's birth certificate says MedStar Washington Hospital Center. His medical records of his infants and newborns, MedStar Washington Hospital Center. So we have documents, but not all of them. You see what I'm saying? So that shows proof right there that the hospital was lying. Why would you lie and say I never had a baby there until 2013? Then my therapist asks, well, why am I looking at documents in front of me saying that her newborns were healthy? Do you know they hung up on her? Do you know she called back? And do you know that they kept giving her the runaround, saying that she needed medical release of information? Do you know I signed the medical release of information approximately, well, today's date is the 8th of July. I believe. I hope it's the 8th. I believe it's not the 8th, but yeah. It's like the 7th or the 6th of July. This happened in, should I say, 4 years ago. I signed a medical release of information for my therapist. You supposed to have approximately less than a week to fax over those documentations because she's a licensed practitioner, so you have to give her those paperwork. Do you know my therapist just received those documents actually? I'll say maybe 6 months ago. Why did it take 4 years for you guys to actually email her my records? And when you guys emailed her my records, half of the records were missing. And she was like, oh, these come in order, but half of your records are missing, and they never sent it. And we called back again. We asked them to send more documents, and they never sent anything else. Then when I kept calling to snoop around, and I asked about the doctors, why was there so many doctors on my medical records for this one particular birth? It didn't make sense. So when I kept snooping around and stuff, and I called, in the first beginning, they told me that the doctor had left the very next day of me giving birth, vanished for years. Then came back, guess years later, thinking that I was going to forget about it, or I wasn't going to fight, or thinking I was just a black girl from the ghetto, a drug addict, thinking they was going to win. So yeah, I started calling around, and I talked to a woman, and she explained to me, write a letter up and bring it to the hospital, and they'll take a copy of it. So I didn't want to go by myself. I took my sister-in-law, Nisi, with me. We went to the hospital. I seen my Jamaican friend, special police officer there. They told me to take it to this room on the first floor. I said, but I wanted to be to the higher point. So he said, I know right where to take you at. I'm going to take you myself. So he took me, they made a copy. And the lady tried to keep my original and gave me the copy. And my sister was like, no, you take the copy and she keeps her original. So I was like, it's no need for an argument. All I want is my sonogram picture and the rest of my medical files that I was not given. I said, all I want is my child back. I want the truth to come out. And so it was a Caucasian man by the name of Joe Lenard that works for Administrative Review Department on the second floor of Washington Hospital Center. He specifically came out on the phone calling the police for no reason. I could see if I was kirking out, showing off, or cussing, or yelling, or screaming, or throwing stuff. I was not doing any of that. All I was doing was standing there calmly, crying. It's not a crime to shed tears. I was crying because I'm hurt. And his secretary, an African-American woman, did like this and slipped me an index card, one of those little triangle or rectangle cards to write notes on and stuff. She slipped me a card, and on that card it says, PEDS. They keep medical records and sonogram pictures up to 25 years. It's only 10 years. Where's my sonogram picture? So she's helping me out. You see what I'm saying? Let me know that the man is lying. So all I want is for the truth to surface, and Lord, bring me my child. Because he might be well taken care of because he's with someone rich. But the richness don't have nothing to do with him missing out with his family. He needs to know about his culture. He needs to know about the ethics, background, his food, all that stuff. You know, he needs to be with his family, his blood. Please help me get my child back. Purchase the book, Real Life Story, Real True Life Story in my life. It's a lot of other stuff that I don't want to talk about because you need to read the book. Exposement of everything, every blood clot thing. Get the book, Left for Dead, God's Unexpected Miracle by Miracle Counselor. I have sent my book out to Wendy Williams. I have sent it out to, I have reached out to Dr. Field, Maury Povich, willing to take a lie detector tests, Steve Wilkins. Everybody kept saying, "Oh yeah, well, okay." And when I give them a briefing of the story, they said, "Oh no, well, we can't have you on the show." Why am I getting a blockage from everyone? I mean, actually, I believe this woman is paying everybody off. And then, before I forget, the doctor, Lorraine Gillian, was the doctor. Remember I said she vanished after she did my paperwork. She came back years later. Then when I started sleeping around and I wrote the letter, I took it to the hospital. They said they were going to investigate. How can you investigate less than a month? Less than a month now. It ain't even close to a month. But she called me back in a couple of weeks. In those couple of weeks, do you know the doctor was found dead in her house under no natural causes? So the lady was healthy. She had a healthy life. So why did she pop up dead in her house? It's basically some type of naughty type stuff. I mean, because come on now, we're dealing with celebrities, we're dealing with Hollywoods, and over the 9,000 lawyers that I have talked to over the 10 years that I've been trying to get a lawyer for all my cases, they tell me to be very careful. Be very careful. Like, really? You guys are that scared of a celebrity? But what I'm going to say is what's done in the dark always have to come out to the light. So I'm giving you the opportunity and asking you, please give me my child back. I'm not gonna give up until I get back what was taken from me. It's a hurtful situation. I hurt every day looking at both of my kings and knowing that I'm missing one. And that's it for me. Who playing the band from?